Greetings from Snake Mountain Boatworks on Friday, May 10, 2024. Memorial Day weekend's upon us. And as you can see, our 1964 Chris Craft Super Sports new laminated 5200 bottom is fully installed. Rick has just done an incredible job on this one. Everything's as smooth as silk. And the next step is filling all the countersinks and the seams with 3M Marine Premium Filler. And Rick's gonna take us through this one section where he's already applied the first coat and now has sanded it and is ready to show us how he goes at filling these countersinks and the seam and the plywood. Go ahead, Rick.
Okay, I've already applied one coat, as you can see, and I had a couple that were sticking through, so I had to dig out the head of it.
That's right.
Redo it, so just enough just to fill it up. And then when you go back a second, it just makes it's easier. You don't have so much cleanup afterwards. So you just barely apply it, so it's covering the top of it. It doesn't take a whole lot. And then when I go to sand it again, because this is veneer, so we want to be very careful with veneer that we don't go through. So the less you apply, the better. Try to get it as clean as you can. You see it's filling it up the second time around.
Yeah, it tends to shrink as it cures.
Yeah.
That's why we'll typically do this 3 times, and in some places it takes a 4th pass. But the 3M's Marine Premium Filler is just a godsend, because when this stuff cures, it's as hard as stone. It won't release and come out. And we're able to apply our 4 coats of Smith's Clear Penetrating Epoxy Sealer after this process is finished, because the filler actually absorbs the sealer and penetrates down into the edges of the plywood.
See, it's going on pretty good and nice and clean. It's going to be a lot easier next time around when I sand. Very easy to apply.
And the trick, and it's one that I continually fail at, is when you mix this stuff, you mix it probably no more than what, Rick, about the size of a ping pong ball? The glob?
Yeah, the glob, about the size of a ping pong ball, and probably a 1/2 inch of,
yeah,
not very much.
Right, and I tend to put too much hardener in it, and I get started and I'm going great guns, and then it starts to set on me, and you'll know when that happens, because you cannot scrape the stuff out and get it fair. And I used to try, as I did subsequent coats, to try to make everything glass smooth. Well, that's just not necessary, because you're going to be sanding it.
Yeah, it's a lot easier to take your time and put this on with a light, easy coats than it is to sit there with a sander for an hour trying to sand it off.
That's right.
And like I said, with veneer, you're going to burn through if you have too much on there. So.
That's right. And remember, with this laminated bottom and the outside layer being Meranti Aquatech plywood, this outer skin is finished off with a veneer that is extremely thin. So you don't want to go at it with gusto, let's say.
Then when I do my seams, I kind of taper the outsides of it, so it's going to be a lot easier to sand when I'm done. And then voila.
Well, that's great.
Nice and clean.
Nice and clean. We'll let Rick keep on going. You can see here's the rest of the bottom has its first coat on, and this is the starboard side of the bottom, and it is going to be ready to sand once Rick does this demonstration section. So by Monday or Tuesday, probably Tuesday, we'll be putting the primer on, and that's, of course, Inolux 2000E barrier coat. And in the end, she'll get 4 coats of Pettit hard racing copper bronze bottom paint. She's just going to be beautiful. So we'll let Rick keep working, and we'll be back to you next week sometime to show you where he's gotten to by then. That's our update on our 1964 17-foot Chris Craft Super Sport. Thank you so much. Bye-bye for now from Snake Mountain Boat Works.